So, OpenAI just released this absolutely mind-blowing 9-minute video that could be remembered as one of the most pivotal tech announcements ever.
We have like magic intelligence in the cloud. If I wanted to ask ChatGPT something right now about something we had talked about earlier, think about what would happen. I would like reach down, I would get out my laptop, I'd open it up, I'd launch a web browser, I'd start typing, I'd have to like explain that thing, and I would hit enter and I would wait and I would get a response. And that is at the limit of what the current tool of a laptop can do. But I think this technology deserves something much better.
The strange thing is, it feels more like a tech industry power couple introducing their next big venture than a typical product review.
I think we have the opportunity here to kind of completely reimagine what it means to use a computer.
But here's why this is so incredibly significant. If you're not familiar with Jony Ive, he's the design genius behind the original iPhone, the device that fundamentally reshaped the world. He essentially perfected the smartphone blueprint, and practically every phone since has followed his lead. And now he's taken $6.5 billion from OpenAI to create a device intended to make your phone obsolete. To put that $6.5 billion in context, it's more than Disney paid for Marvel, more than Facebook paid for WhatsApp. In the video, they make some pretty audacious claims.
Jony recently gave me one of the prototypes of the device for the first time to take home, and I've been able to live with it. And I think it is the coolest piece of technology that the world will have ever seen.
The products that we're using to deliver and connect us to unimaginable technology, they're decades old.
Yeah.
And so it's just common sense to at least think, surely there's something beyond these legacy products.
So, the man who crafted the ultimate tech product now wants to dismantle it. Whether this is a stroke of genius or utter madness remains to be seen. While OpenAI attempted to maintain secrecy, leaked details from an internal staff meeting and supply chain intelligence are starting to paint a clearer picture. And it's pretty wild. According to the leaked meeting and analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, here's what we currently understand about this mysterious device. It's slightly larger than an iPod Shuffle, making it incredibly compact. It's designed to be worn around your neck as a pendant or placed on your desk. It features no screen whatsoever, relying entirely on voice commands and sensors. It incorporates always-on cameras and microphones for environmental awareness. And it connects to your existing devices for processing power, rather than attempting to replace them entirely. But here's where it gets truly intriguing. In that leaked staff meeting, Sam Altman stated their intention to ship 100 million units of this device. For comparison, it took the iPhone 3 years to reach 100 million sales. They aim to achieve this faster than any company in history. They're positioning this as a third core device, something that sits alongside your MacBook and iPhone. However, unlike those devices, this one is always listening, always observing, always interpreting your context. The concept is ambient AI. You walk into your kitchen and simply ask, "What should I make for dinner?" And it already knows the contents of your fridge, your dietary restrictions, your schedule, and potentially even your mood based on your vocal patterns. In terms of timeline, they're targeting a late 2026 launch for the initial device, with mass production commencing in 2027. Manufacturing is planned for Vietnam, specifically to mitigate geopolitical risks associated with China. Oh, and the company name IO is apparently just a temporary designation. The actual product name remains a secret, but the reason this announcement sent shockwaves throughout the tech world is that it's not just about a single device. It represents a massive strategic move in the race to define the next era of human civilization. Currently, every major tech corporation on the planet is desperately trying to crack the code for the first truly useful AI device. Meta is investing billions in its Ray-Ban smart glasses. Google is re-entering the smart glass arena with Android XR, following the Google Glass debacle. Apple is reportedly developing its own smart glasses for a 2027 release. Amazon has its Echo frames. Even startups like Brilliant Labs are creating AI-powered glasses. They all recognize the same immense opportunity. Whoever creates the first AI device that people genuinely want to use daily will control the next computing platform. And the victor in this race won't just generate immense profits. They will literally dictate how humanity interacts with information, with each other, and with reality itself for the next 2 decades. The stakes have never been higher. However, before we get carried away with this ambient AI future, we need to address reality. The AI device landscape is littered with spectacular failures. Let's begin with the Humane AI Pin. Priced at $700 upfront plus a $24 monthly subscription, it was so fundamentally flawed that reviewers deemed it the worst product they had ever evaluated. It consistently overheated to the point where users were advised to cease charging it due to fire hazards. Battery life was limited to 2 to 4 hours. It couldn't perform basic functions like setting timers or alarms. AI responses took upwards of 30 seconds and were frequently inaccurate. The magnetic attachment design caused clothing to droop. It was such a disaster that the company was acquired by HP and the product was discontinued. $240 million in funding completely evaporated. Then there's the Rabbit R1. At $200 with no subscription fee, it initially seemed promising. However, reviewers soon discovered that it was essentially just an Android app housed in a plastic enclosure. The battery lasted only 4 hours while idle. It could only connect to a limited selection of apps: Spotify, Uber, DoorDash, and Midjourney. Most of its features were unreliable, and it was slower than simply using your phone. Although, to be fair, after a year of software updates, some reviewers now consider it decent. But that's hardly a glowing endorsement. However, not everything in this space has been a failure. Let's quickly review what's currently available and functional. The Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, priced at $299, are the clear frontrunner. They look like normal eyewear, capture surprisingly high-quality photos and videos, feature functional Meta AI integration, offer a 6-hour battery life, and can live stream directly to social media. They're the recommended choice for anyone seeking smart glasses today. Amazon's Echo frames are a solid option if you primarily want Alexa on your face. They lack a camera or display, focusing solely on audio and Alexa integration. They boast the best battery life, at 6 to 8 hours, and are compatible with prescription lenses. However, conversing with Alexa in public can feel somewhat awkward. Google recently announced its return to the smart glass market with Android XR, partnering with Warby Parker, following the Google Glass fiasco. They're attempting a comeback with improved AI and more practical features. These aren't yet available, but could become a viable competitor to the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So, returning to OpenAI's mystery device, what factors might contribute to its success where others have failed? They possess arguably the most advanced AI in the world. ChatGPT demonstrates consistent performance. Jony Ive has never designed a product that could be considered truly ugly or unusable. They're not attempting to replace your phone, but rather to complement it. They're promising genuine environmental awareness, not just voice control, and they have $6.5 billion invested in serious research and development and top-tier talent. However, there are potential concerns. This device presents a significant privacy challenge. Always watching, always listening. Are we truly prepared for ambient AI to oversee our lives? But the real obstacle is this. They're attempting to create an experience that surpasses the addictive nature of our screens. Consider this. Your phone is engineered to be irresistible. Every app, every notification, every swipe is meticulously designed by teams of psychologists and designers to keep you engaged. And now, they want to replace that with conversing with a device worn around your neck. The reason for our phone addiction isn't solely convenience. It's the incredibly compelling nature of visual interfaces and instant gratification. Can ambient AI truly compete with the dopamine rush of scrolling through TikTok or receiving likes on Instagram? I genuinely hope this succeeds. The concept of ambient AI that understands your context and provides assistance without requiring you to use your phone sounds incredible. And while numerous companies have tried and failed in this endeavor, Google Glass, Microsoft HoloLens, Magic Leap, if anyone can crack the code, it's this particular team. AI News. Stay tuned for our next episode.
I want this to be democratized. I want everybody to have it. I don't want it to be the tiny percentage of the population that figures out how to use bad tools and is really smart. I want anybody to say, hey, I have this idea, make it happen. You talk to people who use our latest model and say this is like genius level in every field, and you just have to put in the work to like pull it all together. But if you have a hard problem, you can have this like team of geniuses in all of their different disciplines, and they report, I'm 2 or 3 times more productive as a scientist than I was before. I'm 2 or 3 times faster to find a cure for cancer than I was before, because I have this incredible external brain. That just didn't exist 6 months ago. I think this will be one of these moments of just an absolute embarrassment of riches of what people go create for collective society.
I am absolutely certain that we are literally on the brink of a new generation of technology that can make us our better selves.
Both a very strong shared vision. We maybe didn't know exactly where we were going to go, but like the direction of the force vector felt clear. And then this like deeply shared sense of values about what technology should be, when technology's been really good, when it's gone wrong.
I mean, that was in a way one of the basis, I think, for one of the reasons Sam and I clicked was, despite our wonderfully different journeys to this point, our motivations and values are completely the same. In my experience, if you're trying to have a sense of where you are going to end up, you shouldn't look at the technology, you should look at the people who are making the decisions. And you should look at what drives, motivates, and look at values. So I/O is merging with OpenAI.
Formed with the mission of figuring out how to create a family of devices that would let people use AI to create all sorts of wonderful things.
The first one we've been working on, I think, has just completely captured our imagination.
You know, Jony called one day and said, this is the best work our team's ever done. I mean, Jony did the iPhone. Jony did the MacBook Pro. I mean, these are like the defining ways people use technology. It's hard to beat those things. Those are really wonderful.